Hello everyone, my name is Olga. Today we will put on our tourist hats and try to find out what are the prices now here in Antalya. We live here for almost a year and I will try to give you some tips on how to save money on a holiday. We will go to the restaurants, to one of the best beaches, and I will tell you how to get a boat tour for $35 instead of $300. Also in the video we will show you how to get a good price on sightseeing tours, traditional Turkish massage, shopping, bike and car rentals. So, first things first, let's have breakfast. And you might be having breakfast at your hotel, but I would highly recommend to go out and try the traditional Turkish breakfast at one of the cafes, especially if you're in a bigger city like Antalya. There are plenty nice and modern restaurants and cafes where you can get not only traditional Turkish breakfast, but also a classic English breakfast if you prefer, or some sort of a fitness breakfast like in this cafe. It's called Shakespeare, and later in the video I will share the names of some other big chain restaurants that you can find all over Turkey. And Renee is having a pan breakfast, which looks more or less like English breakfast. And I'm having a traditional Turkish breakfast. And what is very typical for Turkey is that portions are quite big, so come there hungry. With the breakfast you also get free refills on chai, Turkish tea. So normally you will not need to pay for every next cup, they will just refill it as you drink them. And there is plenty outdoor seating in every Turkish cafe and restaurant, but outside the smoking is allowed, and also the weather is quite hot, so we prefer to sit inside where it's air conditioning. We are taking a taxi to the beach, and in a taxi always ask to go by the meter, never agree to a fixed price. The current prices are 10 Turkish Lira as the meter starts and 20 Turkish Lira for 1 kilometer. For about 20-minute ride here, it was about 6 kilometers, we paid 85 Turkish Lira. The tips are not mandatory in Turkey, but if you enjoyed the ride, if everything went well, you are free to leave them 10 or 15 Turkish Lira. So now we are at the beach park. Beach park in Antalya is a great place to spend a day on a holiday. Let's waste no time and get to what we came for to Antalya in the first place. It's the beach. Here is the beach club, and here you can see the prices. And a sunbed and an umbrella will cost you 60 Turkish Lira. And here I also see for 245 you can get yourself a beer menu, which means beer menu. It's 4 beers and some snacks. I would say these prices are quite good, so let's see what we are paying for. The entrance to the beach itself is completely free, so if you don't want to buy anything, you absolutely do not have to. Just bring your own towel, put it on the beach, and you can swim without any limitations. Here we are walking into water sports center, so let's check out how much would you pay for water sports. And these prices, I would say they are really high, especially this price for a boat tour. Later in the video we will go to another place where you can get yourself a boat tour, and there the prices will be much lower. So let's check out the water, and as you can see it's very clean, and I really enjoy beach here in beach park. For me it's one of the best places in Antalya to swim, and you can see the beautiful mountains. There can be strong waves, especially if it's a windy day, so maybe with the children you need to be careful here, but for grown-ups I would say this place is really good. In Antalya, on popular beaches, there are also lifeguards everywhere. Here we see someone is riding on a ski jet, and already for 15 minutes, we saw earlier, you would pay 1,300 Turkish Lira, which I think is quite a high price for Turkey especially. And the cheapest you can go is a paddle board for 400 Turkish Lira half an hour. So as you can see, not everyone is paying for sunbeds. I think mostly locals are using their own towels, and they bought umbrellas, and they don't have to pay a chaise longue and an umbrella every day. So if you're coming, say, for 2 weeks, I say you can easily buy an umbrella in the shop if you really want to save money. And later we will go to shops and I will show you the prices for beach essentials. So let's have a drink and a quick snack at this beach club. Here at the entrance you can already see prices. That's a good sign.
So tavuk wrap, that's that. Alkosus cocktailer. Amsterdam beer, 80. Yeah, Amsterdam. Yeah.
Here are tables right next to the beach, so it is quite a relaxing and enjoyable experience to just sit here and relax for a bit. The prices, I would say, are quite good. They have all kinds of drinks, all kinds of food. Of course, alcohol drinks are a bit pricey, especially the cocktails, but this is what you would expect from a place like this, right on the beach. If you want cheaper prices, the further away from the beach you go, the cheaper the prices will be. But it is a nice and relaxing experience. You can swim, you can relax at the cafe, so I would recommend a cafe like this. We ordered an orange juice and a nice latte, also a fruit plate, and I would say the size of it was quite big, so it was enough for a small snack for 2 people. Overall, we paid 100 Turkish Lira for the 2 of us. Also at the beach park you can find a restaurant promenade with free toilets, coffee shops, chic modern cafes and trendy bars, as well as inexpensive fast food restaurants. And after splurging on our breakfast, we decided to go for a light lunch and also inexpensive. And this restaurant is called Tavuk Dünyası, Chicken World. And here, as you can see, prices are much more affordable than in other places. We ordered 2 chicken salads and a portion of potatoes. And it all costs us 190 Turkish Lira for 2 persons. If you are interested in hotels, near Beach Park I saw this hotel, Su Hotel. The prices for it was starting from 100 to 130 euro for a night, and it's a 5-star hotel. Overall, these days in Turkey you can rent hotels for as cheap as 40 euro a night and go higher, go to 100, 200. If you want 4 or 5 stars, I would say you would need to count on paying about 100 euro for a night. The beach park has great infrastructure. We even saw a tourism police there. There are small shops selling beach essentials like swimsuits, for example, here, but we are going to a shop where it will be cheaper. There is also a skate park in Beach Park, and all over you can see these steps that are also quite inexpensive to rent. A children's playground right next to the restaurants. And here you can see a worker is taking care of the territory, he is cleaning. This is the place where you can rent bikes and electric bikes. For an electric bike you will pay 160 Turkish Lira for an hour. You can rent them right here at the beach park, and we were also told they do daily rentals. So it means you have to return it in 24 hours next day. Now we are taking another taxi and going to the city center, where I will show you how you can get a cheaper boat tour. This is Kaleci, Old City and the Marina, and here I went in the previous video and asked about what kind of tours they have and what are the prices. Right now the prices are 45-minute tour 200 Turkish Lira and 6-hour tour with lunch it's 600 Turkish Lira. And recently my husband, he went with his Turkish friends on another boat tour, so they were driving him and he did not have to book it himself, so they went for about 250 Turkish Lira on a full day tour, 6-hour tour. So it might be possible to get them for cheaper, but even 600 Turkish Lira for a full day with lunch, I still think it's a very good price. On the long tour they will take you to several places, several locations. You will be able to swim several times. There is also quite often a foam party, but I've been told by one of the subscribers that actually they are really not good for the nature, those foam parties, because all the foam goes to the sea. So I say it's your choice if you want to participate in it or not. But there are definitely boat tours that do the foam party and there are tours that do not have them. You will have to ask. And of course on a boat tour you will get a chance to see other really cool boats, and what is even more cooler in my opinion is the nature, the mountains. They are just gorgeous. So I've been promising you to take you shopping and to show you where you can buy beach essentials. Let's do it finally. And this shop is really close to the beach, so the prices here are not gonna be very low, not the lowest you can find in the city, but a shop like this is always convenient because you don't have to take a taxi or walk too long to find it. So for convenience, this kind of shop is your choice. And for example, here you can see umbrella is 250 Turkish Lira. They do sell all kinds of beach essentials. You can see you can buy here sun cream, you can buy some clothes, you can buy slippers. For example, this fake Adidas slippers will cost you 90 Turkish Lira. Or you can buy yourself some sort of Crocs, which are actually quite good for Antalya because Kahvalti beach is a pebble beach, so this kind of shoes are, I think, necessary. And now we came to a big shopping mall, 5M Migros. I don't think you necessarily need to go to a mall like this, but if you want to do some shopping anyway, I think it is worth a ride. In that mall you will find a big Migros supermarket where you will find not only food but all kinds of beach essentials, some clothes, some shoes, all kinds of cosmetic products like sun cream and of course drinks and alcoholic drinks as well. The supermarket is really good because here in one place you are getting everything you need. You don't need to go to 5 different places, to 5 different shops. The prices here are a bit lower overall, I would say, than in the previous shops we went to. So yesterday the plan was to film everything in Migros and show you the prices in a regular supermarket, but we got quickly approached by the guard and he said no filming, so we had to stop. But I'm not giving up, and today I am going there to Carrefour. It's another big grocery shop here in Turkey, and you can find same stuff as in Migros, and I hope today I can film there. So wish me luck, fingers crossed, and let's check it out. So here are the prices at Carrefour for some of the beach essentials, and they are overall lower than in the shop next to the beach. For example, these cheap thingies, I often see children walking with them. They are really cheap. Again, the slippers and the Crocs, prices here are quite low. Even the flippers you can buy here. And the swim shoes, which are of course a bit more expensive than normal slippers. These items for the sea, for the pool, they are a bit cheaper than in a shop near the beach. And these eye goggles are, I think, children's, if I'm not wrong, and they are really cheap. So let's walk inside. Again, we see the fruit. The prices are affordable, some swimsuits, shorts. Local wine will be affordable, but imported wine, foreign wine, of course, will be more expensive because there is a high taxes on alcohol in Turkey. Sun creams, sunglasses you can also get in a supermarket like this. So let's return to the shopping mall and I will show you a popular Turkish brand, LC Waikiki. It's inexpensive, very affordable, and here you can buy all the basic clothes, both for the beach and for the daily life. For example, hats are quite affordable. This is the hat that I was wearing in this video. Beach bags, slippers, everything you want. I would say you don't even need to shop before your holiday. You can just arrive, come here, spend here a couple of hours, get everything you need, and you will even save a lot of money compared to some of the European shops. The quality will be similar to brands like H&M in Europe. Tours for sightseeing you can buy at any travel agency in the city, and here we saw some prices and they start from 25-35 and go all the way to 70 for a longer tour. The prices are in dollars. I would say the tours can be worth it. For example, you can go to a cable car to see great views of Antalya, you can go to Gönik Canyon, you can go to Olympus Teleferik, Tahtali Mountain. If you plan to do some tours, I would take at least $50 to $100 for 1 or 2 trips. And now let's talk about car rentals. And I myself don't even have a driver's license, but I do have a great driver who is also known as my husband Rene, and he will tell you all about it.
Hello everyone, my name is Rene. I will share my experience and knowledge about car rentals here in Turkey. I've rented cars in a lot of foreign countries, and the first question you have to answer is where do you rent a car? But it all depends on, do you go to the city after you landed, or is it more convenient for you to take the car from the airport? Just be aware that if you rent a car at the airport, it's usually more expensive than if you rent a car in the city center. So the most common cars here in Turkey to rent, and they are also on the cheaper end, are the Hyundai i20, and usually they are looking new or newish. Or a Renault Symbol, they are usually a bit older. And also Fiat is very common to rent, or a Dacia. And some rental companies have older cars and some have almost new cars. The price in high season, you have to think about 300 to 400 Turkish Lira a day. And some companies can have a minimum of 3 days car rental, so just be aware of that. So yeah, at the moment gasoline is about 25 Turkish Lira a liter. And if you are in Turkey, then you can also check on the website Sahibinden. So yeah, I definitely recommend renting a car. That way you can have nice drives and you can choose when you want, when you go, when you don't go, where you stop, when you don't stop. For me it always gives a feeling of freedom if I rent a car.
After a long day, you might want some spa treatment on your holiday, and you must have heard about Hammam, a famous Turkish bath. And you can take it at your hotel or at a big spa center, and there I saw prices like 50 euro for half an hour. But I did see a traditional hammam in a city center. I have never used it myself, I just walked into it. The prices here, I would say, are much more affordable. But now we are going to have dinner, and here we are at Portobello Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel in Konyaaltı. And we will have dinner very close to this hotel at a restaurant called Riviera. And you can see this hotel is right on the beach. This location is quite expensive, so the restaurant will be more on the expensive side too. And here you also can see that there are a lot of outdoor seating, but again we are sitting inside because smoking is allowed outside. So let's check out the menu. They do have separate sushi menu, and in general Asian food in Turkey is not cheap. Let's see what else they have, and it looks like they have all kinds of drinks, starting from coffee and tea and smoothies and fresh juices, and alcohol drinks are at the end of the menu as well. Here you can also have breakfast. You can have pizza, you can have Turkish traditional food, you can have noodles. Of course, desserts, and here you can see the prices for the alcohol. I would say cocktails, as usual, are not cheap. So I got a pomegranate juice and Rene got himself Turkish beer, Efes. We both got a chicken dish for us. And what is specific to Turkey is that portions in all restaurants are always big. It's both for fast food restaurants and for more luxurious restaurants like this. And also you can count on that there will be a lot of meat. The portion of the meat itself will be big and it will be good quality. So this is the price we paid in total, and I would say for a restaurant like this it is very affordable. So what's our total budget? I say that you need about 30 to 50 euros a day for your holidays, and if you save up, if you go to cheaper restaurants, if you shop at supermarkets, then you might be good with $30 a day, $30 or euros. But if you will be out drinking more, going to more expensive restaurants, it might be even more than 50. And for example, if you are staying at an all-inclusive hotel, you might not be going to restaurants so much, but you do want to go for a jeep safari or for a city tour, and for that I would have from $50 to maybe $200 or $300 for the whole trip. So if you already been in Turkey before, please let me know in the comments how much did you spend on your trip. Maybe some of the prices surprised you, if they are very cheap or too expensive. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video and it was useful for you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.